Hello, hello. Oh, wait a minute. Did I mess up my audio? I feel like I did. You guys hear the music at a normal level? No music. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. How did that get messed up? Yeah. How did I do that? Okay, hold on. Lock volume. Was it all the way up before? I don't remember what I had it to before. Well, shoot. How does that sound? Maybe a little bit too loud. I have no idea what I had it to. Oh no. How did that get messed up? Definitely too loud, okay. I'm not sure how I goofed that. What about... Get it? Well, this is why I had it locked, so I don't understand how it could change. What in tarnation's going on here? Well, good evening, everybody. We are going to be working on our skeleton pirate crew. Ina trolling me? No. Balance it. The balancing of the audio and stuff like that is just as much her headache as it is mine. So she'd be trolling herself at this point. We try not to do a destructive trolling, you know, only constructive. Okay, let's see here. Okay. How's that sound? Can you guys hear it and still or not really? I'm gonna have to. Okay, so we got look like -10 peaking there. Maybe a smidge more. The problem with balancing your own audio while you're live is you can't hear it. Just have to go off of the visual mixer. Okay, let me get the shirt cam on. Maybe it's still in the other scene, still how it should be. Oh, you know what? Let's see. It should be different here. Okay, -18. Okay, that's the louder one. Okay. So it's definitely louder there. That's minus 14. Okay, what about sculpting? Minus 14. Okay, that one's synced with the other one. With this one. I don't know. All seems the same to me. Weird. Well, this one should be louder. The BRI back screen should be a little bit louder. Or is it quieter? I don't think it is louder. Are you on speakers or are you on headphones? That's minus 30. Oh, it is quieter. Okay, that means this one needs to be more like right here then. So then when I go here, it should get louder. Great. I'll have to refigure that out. We'll just have to roll with it for now. Okay. Let's put some barnacles on a boat. A little waterlogged. You'll be a fine vessel. Maybe one more. Big one right there. Neat. Barnacles. Oh, barnacles. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this is well, more of like a Monkey Island style crew of skeleton pirates on this halfway kind of broken Scooby-Doo. If you're familiar with Monkey Island, that's kind of the style or the theme. What's up, Ben? How you doing? Hey, everything's good here, man. It's been a good day. Another day alive and well, very productive. Hey, thanks. Yeah, once we get it all lit up, you'll be able to see kind of like this light, ghostly light coming through the holes. That's the game plan. Oh, yeah, it was kind of spontaneous. So, gotcha, Looper. Just keeping you sharp, keeping you on your toes. She forwarded your message. Yeah, we needed to keep using the airbrush because the maker of the airbrush wanted us to use it during their sponsored segment. So, but I had the airbrush. Honestly, I got so much work done in such a short amount of time because it works so well that I ran out of stuff to do. So I was like, all right, well, what else needs to get airbrushed? So I decided to do the show you the quilt on your base with some nice little airbrushing work here. Let me show you. Turned out really good. Hold on 1 second. It's not gray. There we go. So it's a nice nice blue color with some nice shading. A little hard to show it with your two characters on there, but yeah, it turned out good. Just need to kill the shininess with some matte varnish, but yeah, one step closer. Very close to being done. Let's see. Yeah. It's been a pleasure. The missus did such a good job. The paint work on you guys. I agree. Mr. Sarah. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Gotcha, you little monster. That'll teach you. I love that trick. It's not, you don't move fast to catch flies, you move slow. They can't see you. They can't see you if you move slow. True story. Flies can see you very clearly and react faster than you can when you move fast, but if you move slow enough, they can't even see you. They just think you're like a piece of the environment. Usually I catch them in a steel stick tube, but I didn't have one handy. Doesn't seem very happy about his imprisonment. Let's brush a little glue here. Laggies? What's that? Let's do a little bit of sculpting in here. Just a little bit. Good evening, Plankwalker. How do you do? Hey, what's up, Zuli? I'm not sure if we're even able to see that part, but to get it kind of covered in some texture just in case. It is indeed a good word. How dare you insult my family with this word you have said? In my country, this is the most heinous of things you could have said. I kid. All right. I believe it's time to cook that in the cookery. Oh, let's also do... Remember, we're duplicating these little clasps. I need an oven emote. All right. Duly noted. Let's do another layer of this. Hit that with the heat gun real quick so we can put that in the oven with this. Oops. All right. Yeah, perception through the eyes of a camera can certainly be skewed. All right, get those both in the oven. I'll have to poke around on something else while that's cooking. I think the next step after that is to sculpt the water. I'll be right back. All right. Got that ship cooking. That might be the last time we actually need to bake the ship. And so the next step on the skeleton pirate piece is once the ship is out and cooled down, we can kind of rig things up so we can sculpt the water effect. Fairly form-fitted to the ship. Then we have to do molding and casting to create the clear resin. Yeah, then we do the lighting and the finishing of the ship, and then attach it to the resin permanently. Yeah. I also think we do the painting on the skeleton, painting everything all separate first, then bringing it all together in the end with the lighting and all that stuff. Yeah. All right, we're gonna switch to working on this this fella here. Yeah, we did that water on the Blue Dragon. That was the first time kind of going through the motions with that process. But it went really smooth, so we shall do it again. Okay, I think that might be extra firm. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Let's get some medium firm. I think that might even be soft right there. Let's see. It's an older batch. We'll finish sculpting the sleeve on this guy, and then we can start doing the actual doorway. Hey, Melcel, how you doing? When do you use soft, medium, hard clay? How do you decide? Well, you can use any of the clays for anything, but typical rule of thumb is the softer clays like to be more organic and flowy, so you do organic and flowy things. And firmer clays like to be more rigid and so things that are like mechanical or things you need to be really precise with the placement of the shapes and stuff. You probably want to go more towards the firmer side of the spectrum. This is not part of the pirate scene now. We have to. The next step of the pirate scene, we need the ship, so I have to wait for that to bake. It's a different piece. It's a leprechaun character. We need to sculpt in this sleeve here. Yeah, so we're doing like a flowy, organic sleeve shape here. So that's why I opted to do a softer clay. I usually don't use soft. I just happen to have some laying around from a previous kind of batch. I tend to stick to medium firm and extra firm. The liquid is a clay glue. So anytime you're adding a fresh clay onto a hardened surface, you just lay down that glue, and that just really makes it stick permanently. It makes it stick right now for the sculpting phase, but then the clay is or the glue is it's like a liquid form of the clay. So when you bake the clay, it also bakes the glue, and the glue really solidifies, permanently. But it really makes a difference with the clay actually adhering to the surface while you're sculpting. So you love getting baked, do you? Probably not at 275 Fahrenheit. You might not enjoy that kind. What about faces? Consider more flowy? Faces are more organic, but they have a lot of really precise features, like the eyelids and stuff like that. So if you're doing a likeness, you definitely want to use some more of a firm clay, because you got to be really precise with the positioning and the sizes of things. Flowy things are, things that, like, for example, this sleeve just needs to look like a sleeve, a nice flowy cloth sleeve. It doesn't need to look like a very specific sleeve. It just needs to, the wrinkles need to be in the right place so it makes sense. But like when you do like a cape to a character, I can just make up a cape for Superman. It's still gonna look like Superman's cape. You know what I mean? You can't just make up a face to Superman and it still look like Superman's face. It's a very loose, pressureless thing to sculpt. So yeah, a face is an organic shape, just like a cape, but it can be any old cape and work, but it can't just be any old face and work. Yeah, sure. No problem. That tends to be the case with most outfits and stuff. You can get away with discrepancy and things not being exactly how they ought to. But when it comes down to something like faces and hands and stuff like that, they gotta hit just right. That's the time to be very precise. Solidarity. Do ya? Punch in these. Gotta tick all the boxes. Yeah, it's, if you think about your work, imagine you're allotted a certain number of points for detail and time expenditure, you know. You got to spend those points in the right areas, you know. Cuz the reality is most people, we're all operating on a point system as far as where to spend our time working on something. So be mindful of where you're spending those points. Don't spend your precious detail points and time points on areas that don't matter as much, you know. Still make those areas look decent, but you can make things look decent without spending all your time and energy there, you know. Like this sleeve is tucked behind this door. I don't need to go too crazy with this, you know, just basic wrinkled sleeve. That's all I'm going for. You know, I could make the design decision to say, you know what, I'm going to do a really patterned cloth texture. It's just going to take me like 3 days to make, you know. That would be very unwise because this sleeve in the final, image is going to be, tucked behind that door. You're barely ever going to see it, you know, so it'd be a bad use of points. Be better to spend the points here, you know, the hands, the face, the hat, which I did. I spent a lot of time on the hat. Notice how I faked the proportions a little bit by making the brim more narrow in the back and more broad in the front. I also faked the kind of almost like a perspective on the door. I think that works out pretty good. Dimitri, hey, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Dimitri is always very good to me. Right, yeah. Yeah, this sleeve, that's another thing, yeah. So when you're dealing with the face, right, here's the line of symmetry, right? Right down the middle. So the eyes are next to each other. All the symmetry is right next to each other. So it's more important that the symmetry is close here than this arm and this arm. Because you can't look and see this arm and this arm at the same time, which gives you a way bigger margin of like error. Because people, like, if you can't see the two objects in the same frame, there's so much more wiggle room with the symmetry. But if you can see both sides at the same time, now you have to be a lot more close with your symmetry. Robert, I have been made aware of this. Yes, thank you, Robert. Welcome. You didn't sculpt the hair on top of that before you put the hat on? Sometimes, yeah, I've done that stuff before. Definitely. Yeah, we want to try to eliminate stuff like that. Save ourselves the time. Spend those points elsewhere, you know what I mean? Those effort points. you're new here, welcome. Well, my name is cnotbusch. I make custom sculptures from start to finish here. We do mostly commissioned work for individuals and for companies. We just got done doing a commission for PlayStation for the launch of whatchamacallit? Death Stranding 2. I sculpted a portrait of Norman Reedus, who plays the character Sam Porter. Norman Reedus. How long have I been sculpting for? I've been pursuing sculpture for about 15 years. I've been streaming and sculpting for full time now for 13 years. So I've been doing this pretty actively that whole time. Saw that on my Insta. Oh, thanks. Yeah, they should be posting the final one over on PlayStation's Instagram. I don't know when. Sometime in the near future, I imagine. Yeah, let's see here. If you hadn't seen it, here's the final. Well, this is the one before the painted version, which the painted version will be posted on their on PlayStation's Instagram. I was pretty happy with how that turned out. For or against? Sounds divisive. Yeah, and then yeah, I don't know when they'll post. Let me go check, see if they did post it yet. Probably not. No, not yet. Not yet. I do? No. How can you do this? I actually have free tutorial, start to finish project tutorials that you can follow along. If you really want to learn, go to my YouTube channel. There's playlists that you can follow along. I have one called the Woodland Gremlin class, which you can make something very similar to this. This is pretty much a Woodland Gremlin type character. It's a slight variation. And then the live classes happen on Sundays, so you just tune in here Sundays. Our current class, we're working on sculpting a robot. Okay, let's brush the sleeve with alcohol, and then we will sculpt the kind of the collar of the sleeve. Remember that one time I taught you to make a mimic? Yeah, I do remember. We just recently finished that piece up. Finally. Good to see you coming around again there, Mr. Hay. Sorry about your face. Nice to see you, my friend. What does that do? This is isopropyl alcohol. What it does is it slightly kind of dissolves the clay, and then lets us really kind of like smooth in things. You know, get rid of those tooled marks, make it look more kind of flowy. Smoothing, yeah. This also will remove fingerprints, and yeah, you can just kind of really bring it to life with this step. That is crazy, Shweezy. But we also never know what the future holds. Never know. I've had many small world moments in my life. One of my favorite small world moments was I had moved all the way from Illinois to Colorado right after I graduated high school. And I used to bike in downtown Denver when I was going to school. I would take the bus and I'd ride my bike down in the city, just cruising through the streets, you know. And I moved there from Illinois, which, if you don't know, Illinois is like 16-hour car ride away from Colorado. It's pretty far. About 3-hour plane flight away. So quite a distance. But anyways, I was biking through downtown Denver, and I look off to my left, and I see a friend of mine's from high school's dad just chilling, just kind of leaning up against a metal railing outside of a big executive building, smoking a cigarette. Like, I slammed on the brakes on my bike, like, his last name is Brown. I said, "Mr. Brown, is that you?" He's like, "Oh, hey, Chris." Like, what are you doing here? He apparently was just traveling for his company for work, and I just happened to bump into him, and, you know, least likely of places. It's crazy. Another one happened to me fairly recently. I went to... my wife is from Germany, and we go to visit her family. We try to get out there once a year. And I got invited to go to a polymer clay convention in the Czech Republic, in Pilsen, Czech Republic. I got invited by the person running the show. Her name's Lucy. asked if I would come out since I was relatively in the neighborhood. Great beer there. Yeah, I know. I had some. Although I will say I like the German beer better. I do have to say. I did enjoy the Czech beer, but I think the German beer is better in my opinion. But anyways, so they got me an Airbnb, bought me my train tickets, but I'd never gone really on a train in Europe to somewhere I've never been before, So anyways, I'm like, oh boy, I hope I don't get lost somewhere in Europe, get off the wrong stop in like France or something. But anyways, I get on the train on my way to this event. It's like a 6-hour all together train ride. And what's the outside mall called in Denver? I forgot. I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember. But anyways, I get off of the first train and I have to make a layover to another train. And this is like moment of truth. If I can get to this next train, I'll probably make it, to my destination. So I get off and I go to the where it says the train's gonna be, and I have to wait. It's like 30 minutes. But I was getting doubts on it, maybe if I'm standing in the wrong area for the next train. So I turn and I go to the first person I see that's also waiting at that same train stop. And I said, excuse me, it was a lady, and I said, excuse me, ma'am, is this hoping she speaks English, of course. Is this the train you're looking for here or waiting for here? And I showed her my phone, and she goes, oh, hello, cnotbusch. So I was like, oh, hey, I guess you know me. She's like, yeah, I'm going to the same event you're going to. So she was from, I think, Berlin, on her way to the polymer clay convention that I was also going to, and knew exactly who I was. So after that, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna follow you, and got there no problem. But yeah, that was funny. Literally, the first person I decided to go and ask for like directions, essentially, knew who I was and was going to the place I was going to. So that worked out really good. I was like, hey, as long as I can get there on time, I can get lost on the way home. That's fine, Right. It was a good time. Definitely was a good time. I enjoyed it. I had to partake in the all of a sudden wanting some donor at like midnight after having a few beers. And since I was like down in the city in Pilsen, I had an Airbnb there. I just there was a nice little donor shop downstairs, and that's where it's at right there. It's good times. That's dangerous. If I lived there, I would give in to that all the time probably. Let's just go get a little midnight snack. Just a whole donor. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a more epic version of like Euros. You're dating your girlfriend for like a year. One day she invites you over to her place, and guess what? Her brother is actually my childhood friend. Oh boy. Did that create an awkward situation, or was it more of like one of those like really cool moments like, heck yeah. Turkish burrito. I guess, yeah. It's really good, man. It's like super fresh, but also filling, and just hits all the right spots, man. It's a German Turkish creation. It's like, I believe, yeah, I think it was a Turkish fellow that Was it Berlin? It was made in Berlin. Turkish fellow moved to Berlin and created. I mean, there is a Turkish kind of variation, but I think the one in Germany is different. They just really don't have that in the States, unfortunately. So it's one of the things we look forward to when we go back. He was cool about it? Okay, that's good. Small world moment. New York has some shops, not here in Texas. There was one we went to in Chicago, me and the missus, because we were on the hunt to get one. And it was close, but not quite. It's just not the same. But it was close. It was the actual Turkish guy that had the shop too, and he gave us some tea. You get the nice little glass cup with the little spot of hot black tea, very Turkish style. He had like football up on the screen that was in German. Watching some German soccer game or something. Hey, what's up, Noodle? Noodle Ninja. Okay, let's see here. I think I did this differently. I'm having an inner monologue. Yeah. You can just keep pretending that if it's better. I can say I don't think it's ever happened though. I've never had somebody in public know who I was, like from streaming or from the internet. That hasn't happened yet, believe it or not. I know eventually one day it will happen. I'll just like bump into somebody and they'll just be like, "Are you cnotbusch?" Me? No. Never heard of them. Oh, you must have me confused with somebody else. That's not me. See what? What do you call me? I am self-taught, yeah. That is right. Hey, thank you. Let's see, okay. A bit harder to reach. Wonder if I can have to remove this from this board anyways. Really glued the heck out of it. There we go. Yeah, you know, working with airbrush is something I've been really wanting to do more of, and it's going to be a lot easier now having a decent setup for that. There's so much untapped potential for different techniques, but it's also it's a matter of saving time. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, we really get a lot done. Made quick work of a lot of surface area. That's for sure. Okay, let's see. Is it the best way to paint? It does certain things very good, very easily. You can't really say there is a best way to paint, but it's a very efficient way to paint. Especially if you can become proficient with it. I'd say one of the more time-consuming things to do with hand painting is getting a nice transition between colors, a seamless transition between colors. The airbrush does that very quickly. The best thing to do is to use the best of both worlds, to use things for its strengths, figuring out what the strengths of things are and using them for that particular thing. Do you ever get nervous to do a stream? I've been streaming. You gotta think I've been streaming for 13 years, full time. You don't get nervous anymore. After a certain point, you just don't get nervous, even if there's like big raids or anything like that going on. But there was a time when that wasn't the case. Like when I first started, I'm sure I was nervous. I couldn't tell you for sure I'm sure I was, but I don't really remember. It was such a long time ago. I'm sure I was. Everybody is. The shed streams were a nervous wreck. Yeah, okay. I think even during the shed days, I was still already like 5 or something years into streaming. It's not even the beginning. Let's see. I need a particular tool here. There it is. Well, you know what bravery is, right? It's not the absence of fear, but it's doing it in spite of the fear. meaning you have fear, but you decide to face that, to step forward even though the fear is there, to not give in to the fear, to not listen to it. So be brave. And when you do that, you overcome that fear. It goes away, loses its grip, its power over you. So even if nothing happens during the live, you will be emboldened at least. Fortune favors the brave. Yeah, I think a lot of the times a lot of people mistake bravery as not having fear or being fearless. But no. It is being afraid, but doing it anyways. Stepping forward anyways. Every adventure has a little bit of fear involved, so you can't let the fear stop you from doing things. It's like a necessary ingredient for adventure. A little bit of fear, a little bit of uncertainty, and a little bit of discomfort. These are ingredients for true adventure. So don't let a little bit of discomfort stop you. Don't let uncertainty stop you, and don't let fear stop you, because you're just thinking about it wrong. Just remember that these are necessary ingredients for a great adventure, for a great story. I was grilling steaks yesterday, and it started to sprinkle, and then the sprinkling started to turn into literal downpour, like huge drops of water, and I was sitting in the rain, finishing my grilling, completely soaked, and telling myself to embrace the discomfort, to enjoy this great adventure. And I tell you what, it created contrast, because when I came inside and changed into dry clothes, felt really nice. Without the rain, wouldn't have felt very nice. Contrast. I was soaked. Emma was having a great time, but she had an umbrella. It was not fair. She wanted to stay out there. I'm going in. Okay, let me put this button on, and then we can get this in the oven here. Yeah, you literally got nothing to lose there, Fee. You can only gain from trying, from facing that fear. At the very least, you gain that a little bit of boldness next time you encounter something like that. I think we don't realize that when we pursue something, when we become bold enough to pursue something, like being brave enough to get on a stream when you are afraid, it emboldens you in other ways too. You just won't realize it in that moment, after being a streamer for a long time, a while back I got invited to teach a class at California State University, something I'd never done before, a class of 30 students that had to apply to get in. This was a master's level sculpting course. I've never taught sculpting before at that point, but I took the plunge. I was bold, and that boldness was built off of the stream, you know. So, Professor Cena, that's right. And you know what? I did just fine. Tried my best. I even did a. Not only did I teach for the first time, but I did an auditorium public speech talking about my journey as an artist in front of like an auditorium full of people. And I hadn't done any public speaking since like high school, you know, like speech class or whatever. But I realized TED Talk, know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was kind of like that, but I I was very afraid, of course, but when I got on stage and I started talking, I realized, oh wow, I've been sharpening that side of myself just by being on stream and talking to you guys all the time, that it just came out so naturally. Once I got over that initial uh you know, the building up to it. Once I got up on the stage and they had the lights in my face and I was just doing my thing, it was very natural. And so a lot of times we don't realize we're like training different parts of ourselves, doing other things, you know, transferable skills. So through being on stream for, I think it was probably about 8 years I had been streaming at that point, I was able to effectively teach and do public speaking just from being on stream. And I didn't even realize that's stuff I could do. And I ended up teaching, we ended up going, I think 3 classes. We were going to do a 4th one. So we did it 3 years in a row. The 4th year is when COVID hit, and that kind of, that rocked the boat. So that messed everything up. So the class didn't go through because of COVID. When it came back up, it was just different because of COVID. So I just didn't want to participate. And then, and then that they stopped teaching that particular course. They did one year where they had somebody else teach sculpting, and it just ended up flopping the class. So my hopes is someday we'll do something of that sort again. Frank has my number. He's the guy who organized the class, but COVID changed everything. Yeah, it did. That was the one thing that negatively impacted me personally with COVID, was just kind of losing that gig. But I know I'm very fortunate because that's pretty much the only thing that really affected me. Lots of other people lost a lot more, that's for sure. But anyways, I'm gonna get this in the oven, and we're gonna go from there. So teaching is something you aspire to. I really do enjoy it, for sure. Yeah. I wouldn't shy away from any teaching opportunities. I do my own kind of online class here on Sundays. So Sunday streams are kind of like teaching tutorial days, but in-person teaching is definitely another level, and I definitely like to do that again at some point. I did No, I think I actually handed out my first signature at the polymer clay convention, but it was on paper. Seb. Yeah. I mean, that teaching that I did in the past led to where we're at now with doing the online teaching. So it just took a while to get there. Anyways, I will be right back. Okay. Well, that's cooking. I think we will do some work on Lizelle.
Hail, noble ally. Please accept these treasures as a gift for your unwavering service to the kingdom.
Man, Clayton, feels like it feels like a couple days ago when you were resubbing. Where's the time going? What the heck? Hey, thank you so much. 3 cheers for 3 years at tier 3. 333. Thank you so much there, Clayton, for the tier 3 sub. 3 years. I appreciate it. You were a young man when you found me, yes. 3 years of wisdom. Where's that wisdom jar? Yeah, there it is. Let's see here. You got Eclipse Potion, Draught of the Living Dead, and Bat Blood. Choose wisely. I'd never have the skills that I have if someone didn't take the time to pass down 35 years of experience. Yeah, I enjoy, I get charged up when I teach other people what I do, it charges my own work up, I find it really easy to talk about something that I'm passionate about. That's why you always hear me babbling about food and gardening and sculpting. Bat blood. Okay. Bat blood. Food and gaming. Deep down inside, I'm definitely a passionate gamer. I'm just less, I have less time towards gaming these days. So it's just not in the forefront like it used to be in the past. It's just a different season there's a season of life for everything, and I'm not in a particularly high gaming season of life. A shield may protect your body, but courage is the armor that guards your soul. Yes. Sculpting is a bit like story making, built up of little details. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it 100% is storytelling. You just, instead of using words, you're using clay. Food and gaming and monster taming. How the time flies by. Yeah, Okay, where is Lizelle's sword here? I thought I did have it here somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. You know what I just realized? I don't know how I goofed that up. There are 2 left hands on here. Oh my goodness. I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. Don't worry, we can fix this. Nice job. Past me. Real smooth. Where's my knife? I could probably stick it on there and no one would notice. But just in case somebody does, I probably should fix it. Where did my X-Acto knife go? Every Sunday, that's right. Not the first time it's happened. Won't be the last. Ah, there you are. A little surgery, no problem. Good thing I noticed. I'm just going to remove the thumb. Nice and slow here. Hey. Rob Bin. Hello, Rob Bin. And we're just going to put it right there. Oh, no worries there, Fozzie. Oh, Folly. Fozzie. Where did I get Fozzie from? Fozzie. Okay, it's Fozzie. Okay. I think we'll probably make a new thumb. I mean, we probably could just maybe cut some material away there and just a little thumb transplant. Cut away some of this material around the Robin. I got called Robin, so I attempted to make it clear it's Rob in progress. All right, Robin. Whatever you say, Robin. Rob the bin. Poor Rob. Rob will spend the next like 4 years doing name changes. Just desperately wanting people to say his name properly. Which will drive him mad. I mean, you literally just heard me call It's Folly, It's Fozzie. So, yeah, I mean, there's something to that. Oh. All right, you know, let's just cut this all off here. $2014 was a different time. Okay, I need the super glue. Every great teacher pronounces names incorrectly. Really? And now I just gotta fill in the blank here. Yeah, I've always wanted to make a series of medieval weaponry where you could remove the handle and there's like a pen tip or something, or, you know, like a bunch of pens essentially, but hidden as medieval weapons. And then on your desk, you'd have a medieval armor, like arms rack, with just a bunch of medieval weapons, you know, maces and flails and, you know. And so you'd have this miniature medieval armory on your desk, but really it's a bunch of pens for writing. Hidden in plain sight. Ah, Robbie. Robbie, is that you, Robbie, my boy? Come here. Have you changed your stars, Robbie? William. Is that you, William? Born a Thatcher. Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein. That was such a funny movie. So like, it's such weird like details, like the princess having like purple hair, that you just didn't question. Lizelle? Yeah, she's a good fighter. I definitely liked having her in my front line. My character is a barbarian, so me and Lizelle would just be in the front lines, just two-shotting things. Hit him with the old 1-2. Okay, so my worry here, if we... if we just glue these on to the wires here, that, when I bake it, this sword's just gonna fall off because it's only supported by the clay. Maybe if I kind of partially drill the holes there. There's a chance that this will fall apart if I... Okay, that has armature. When I attach this here. Yeah. So I think what we need to do is we'll just drill some holes here in the bottom. And then we'll glue it, we'll attach it on there, but when I bake it, I will have a piece of foil that's like holding this sword steady. You know, like it'll be like wrapped around this and then attached to the bottom of the oven. So that way, if it wanted to fall, there's something holding it. That's what we do. Okay. So let me grab a drill so we can drill these holes. Actually, you know what? Let me check some reference. I'm pretty sure she doesn't have... If she had like some thicker gauntlets, we could hide some steel stick under there, but I don't think so. Lizelle. Where art thou, Lizelle? Yeah, definitely not a lot of armor on the arms. I mean, she has like thin leather bracers. And yeah, I have a mini drill press right here. Let me show you. Let me get the right drill bit. Let me show you my mini drill press. Hey, what's up, Casey? How you doing? There we go. See? Mini drill press. Pocket size. These drill presses fit right into your pocket. I don't think I would mute while drilling. Is that rude? Loud, abrupt noises scares people away. So it's not rude, but it's not wise when you want people to stay and watch your stream. I think this needs to be a little bit bigger, actually. You can if you want to. I don't think it'd be wise, personally. Yeah, right. Yeah, just viewers are like they're like deer. You know what I mean? If you stay calm and still and pleasant, they'll just kind of graze around a little bit, hang out. But as soon as there's a loud, abrupt noise, like half of them just like run off into the bushes and you never see them again. So I have to be careful. Bango Bongo is like let's see, what do you like? Bango Bongo is like a pill bug living under a log in the garden. He ain't going nowhere. He's always there. You look around, but you don't see him. But you lift up the log, and there he is, munching on leaves. There the whole time. Loud noises don't scare him. I got some news. Oh boy, what's the news here? You guys could all be characterized by the critters of the garden space. I'm starting my new job tomorrow morning. Gonna have to retire from the morning crew. Oh no, really? Well, that's good. What kind of job? Like in your field, or just a means to an ends place? Like something you were kind of shooting for, or is this something that it's just a paycheck kind of job? A small local marketing company. Okay, cool. No, that's good. That's good news. Even though you can't be here. All right, perfect. Well, this is all you have to do. Okay. So go there for about... So this is what you do, Bango Bongo. You work there and you really, really gain their trust, you know, really work your best, you know, become that new superstar employee. And then after you've gained their trust, you're going to go in with graphs that are pointing up, okay, and a stick. And you're gonna sit down the owners of the company, and you're gonna say, look, this is here's the watched hours of cnotbusch's stream, and here's productivity over here on this side. So pretty much, if you just turn cnotbusch's streams on all the monitors in the facility, it'll up if you just look at this graph here, it's going to up our productivity over the course of the year. So, and then there you go. Then Bango Bongo becomes 50 view count, just like that. See? Yep. And then you know, let it wait. This is not sarcasm, not. And then you let it kind of sink in for like a month or two. And once things are going smooth, you go in the next day with another productivity chart that shows Prime subscriptions. When Prime subscriptions from our company goes up, so does customer volume or something like that. And so then your boss will like make it mandatory that everybody that has Prime that works for the company has to use their Prime sub on my channel. See how this works, guys? You don't have to be Bango Bongo to make this happen, okay? Everybody out there, everybody out there is a cnotbusch Kingdom ambassador. You know, we're there to take. We're there to spread the word. Okay, to take over territories. Don't lose focus on your true job when you're at your job. It's not to actually do the work, okay? It's just to gain the trust, to get them to watch the stream, to get them to give me their Prime subs, okay? Not a cult. You draw these charts and I'll deliver. No, you do that. You do that part. It has to be in your own words and writing, so it's very genuine and authentic, okay? If it comes from me, they're going to catch on. All right. It's simple. The bottom is like, you know, the bottom is watch time, okay? The top, the up and down is, you know. Yeah, you figure it out. Just make sure the arrow is pointing in an upward trajectory, okay? That's all you gotta do. Sign spinner on Main Street. Yeah. You remember when sign spinners first came out? It wasn't even that long ago. Somebody just like was like, "Hey, let's just pay somebody to stand out there with a sign on the corner of the street." Yeah, I guess it worked. Bango Bongo, there's a season for everything, my friend. Nothing lasts forever. It's time to move on to the next season. And who knows, maybe a season will come again where you'll return. I suppose you'll just have to become one of the sleeping evening crowders. All you lurking evening guys. Who aren't, you know, I appreciate all my lurking evening people. Sometimes I get a ton of work done in the evening just because nobody's talking and I can just work. I shall endeavor to pop in on evenings. Honestly, that was the reason I kept mornings and evenings. So the first, what first made me switch to the morning evening schedule was when I was doing long distance with Ina. She would get done with work right around noon my time. So that's why I always got up early. That's what got me to start getting up early, starting stream and then getting done at noon. And then me and her would hang out until pretty much her bedtime, which ended up around midnight. Her time was about 5 p.m. my time. So then I'd start stream back up and go from 5 p.m. till I went to bed. So, and I really liked the fact that there's 2 kind of groups we can catch in one day by doing it that way. Plus, I like having the middle of the day as my off time to hang out with Emma. Because, like, if I worked like a normal, like, let's say I got up in the morning, started streaming, worked the normal, like, 8 hours all the way through, it would just be less time where I could actually hang out with Emma and do things, you know, because it's already winding down for the evening. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get some work done. It's enough babbling. We'll miss you too, Bango Bongo. Okay. That should fit a little bit better now. Ah, yes. Very good. Ah, yes. Very nice. Okay, let's see. It's too. Oh. Yeah. And then this one can go a little bit over. Oh. Where's my pliers? I do not do ceramic. I don't have a kiln or a place to do ceramic. Here's the thing about the workshop. Even though I do a lot of work in here, it's a small space. And it's relatively, you know, like I don't do a lot of things that create a lot of dust in here, you know, because of it being a small space. It's kind of like a clean space. Even though I know it gets a little cluttery, but there's not a lot of like dust stuff going on, which is great for polymer clay because polymer clay can attract dust and dirt and can mess with the work. But ceramic clay creates a lot of dust. What? Like if I would start working with ceramic in here, this would become like a dust bowl. Absolutely. I would want to have like a garage space or something for that, I think. And I'd need a place for a kiln, of course. But I mean, you don't need to have a kiln. There's usually a lot of places that will rent kiln space and stuff. Maybe like more like this. Ceramic pies. Dusty and delicious. Alright, I think that's pretty good. That's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes, you know. We all have ambitions and things we want to do, but not all of them actualize. There's only so much time in the day, after all. You can figure it out. We live in the age of easily being able to figure anything out. We have the power of the internet. I was a washing machine technician just recently. I had to replace the door gasket on my washing machine. Thankfully, someone else did the exact same job and posted it on YouTube how they did it. I just followed it along. Worked out great. All right, let's sculpt in these arms now. Oh, yeah, okay. I like to do things myself not just because of necessity, although that is a great motivator. But I think even if I had the extra money laying around to hire somebody, I'd still make the attempt myself for the skill gain, you know? The level, the XP points, IRL XP. Just like I was talking about with the speech and the teaching, you know. Those are skills I had. I didn't even realize I had because of other things I had done. Transferable skills. Understanding of how things work. Do I have a link for shopping cosplay? I don't have like a discount code or affiliate link or anything. You just can go to their site and buy it. Exclamation point Clay will give you a link to the site. Tercita. Hello, Tercita. Thanks for lurking. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Fee. We'll catch you tomorrow. We'll be working on the Blue Dragon tomorrow. All right, Fozzie. Thanks for chilling in the chat. I think everyone should start with extra firm, and then kind of figure out where to go from there. I'm using extra firm currently. I like extra firm, but there are times when I like having things a little bit softer. You don't always need it to be super stiff, you know, and it's nice to have that ability to like condition a bunch of clay real quick to like fill in a huge area or get a nice flowy shape relatively easily without the material fighting you, you know. Yeah, extra firm is great for hard surface or just really particular look, you know, if you're trying to get a really particular shape or detail. Soft is soft, yes it is. Yeah, like soft serve ice cream soft. Soft does have a place though. I really do think so. I think when if you build characters the way I do, where you kind of rough out the general volumes, bake it, and then you do like a layer of detail over it, I feel like using soft to rough out those shapes would be better than using anything else, because you could just kind of really get that part done. You can move those large volumes real quick, you know. But yeah, anything that you're trying to do that's like super particular or detailed, it's definitely gonna fight you. You know, there's another aspect too, like the softer the clay is, the more you can affect it with the brushing step, which can be really beneficial too. You know, like if you brush with alcohol, the soft clay, you can really drastically kind of change the surface. All right. Hey, we'll catch you later there. Spring. Any good Prime Day deals? What, that I took advantage of? Not particularly. Prime Day kind of came around at a bad time for me. I'm not in the shopping around for too much stuff right now. Waiting for some paychecks to come in. I ordered some ingredients for a homemade bug spray. That's about it. Oh yeah. There's certainly a room worth. And pest control? Ah, nice. There you go. Getting a trade. Where do you get inspiration for the armor and the weapons? Well, this is a commission of a character that exists. So I just used in-game footage and photos of this particular character. There's not a lot of creative interpretation on this piece. It's pretty plain as day, structured type character. Yeah, that's good, Rob. Right, yeah, this is a likeness piece. Definitely a difficult to reach spot here. Oh, nice. Getting some gaming in. Very good there, Rob. Very good. Me and the missus kind of hit a wall with gaming. We need to find something else to get into. We were playing Enshrouded and we enjoyed it, but it definitely started to get a little bit, repetitive. And I think it's also because we played that style of game back to back too many times. So the whole like monster killing and ingredient harvesting and base building rhythm, just need a break from that. I'm thinking I need to find something a little more story driven, a little more action packed. It's also not uncommon to just have phases where we just don't really have a game going on. That's all right too. All right, let's go ahead and just leave that there for right now. Yeah, it's good, Rob. I feel like you're in a pretty good season of life to be gaming it up, something to pass the time in between. I saw this video that had a saying that is so true and it should rewire the way we think about our free time and our weekends. And it said to kind of like spend your weekends making your life the way you want it to be, not running away from the way that it is, and that's so true. It's easy to get into a rhythm where you're just burnt out from the week and you want to just kind of escape the way it is, but the reality is we should be spending that time making our life the way we want it to be, So I like that a lot too. Yeah.
Hail, noble ally. Please accept these
Wisdom
treasures
for the
as a
road,
gift
please,
for your
Clayman.
unwavering
Yeah, sure.
service to the kingdom.
Let's get a wisdom for the road here for Mr. Bango Bongo. Hey, thank you so much, man. I'm excited for your new job. I think it'll be a new job's always a nice thing, you know? Change of scenery, change of people, new opportunities, new skill growth, you know? Get in there, harvest all the skill growth you can, and once you've harvested it all, move on. Move on to the next place. Don't get comfy. Don't you get comfortable, Bango Bongo. That's not how we improve. Yes, hello, I'm here to harvest. You drive skills. Yeah, if you spoke plainly and truthfully, yes, you would say that. But that if your employer spoke plainly and truthfully, they would say, hello, I'm here to harvest you for everything you've got energy-wise and turn it into profits. And keep you here as long as you can under the guise of fake family and loyalty. But as soon as you become an inconvenience to me, I will get rid of you so quickly. You'll be gone. Like this. So yes, harvest them for their skills and move on. No loyalty. One-eyed eyes. Let's see what it says. Only cnotbusch Kingdom loyalty. Thank you so much. Who hurt you? I've just been free. I've been free from that for too long, Bango Bongo. I will lead you to freedom, Bango Bongo. Don't you worry. The path ahead may seem treacherous, but know that you possess the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle. Oh, there we go. A good one for your journey you're about to embark on. Perfect. That's a weird wisdom. Treacherous. All right. Well, make sure you got your belt on tight there, Bango Bongo. Going for a ride.
Well done, brave hero. Your labor
Can never
has
have too much.
borne
Oh,
fruit.
monkey. All right. Monkey.
Enjoy these goods as a reward for your dedication.
Let's see what we got for you. Thank you very much for the 18 months there, monkey. Draught of the Living Dead. Let's see what it says. Maybe this can enhance, bring some enhancement here on the previous wisdom. Remember, brave adventurer, that the greatest treasures are found not in gold or jewels, but in the bonds we forge and the memories we cherish, and the skills we gain. Right, Bango Bongo? You're not there for paycheck. That's just a side effect, okay? The real objective, the real goal is the skill gain. Take it. Reach out and take it. That's very good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thank you all very much for joining me. I'll siphon their energy like the basketball gremlins from Space Jam. Yeah. Good. Very good. All right. They wish to harvest my skills. Nay, I will harvest their skills. That's right. You you can infiltrate an industry and learn how it works, all the inner workings. Valuable insight and knowledge you can only get from the inside. Take it, store it inside, and then pioneer your own way. This is how it must be done. All right. We find someone to raid here, folks. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a lovely evening with you all. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. We'll be working on the Blue Dragon. Probably in the evening too. If we don't finish it in the morning, we'll be working on the Blue Dragon in the evening. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow will be the last day that we need to work on that piece. And that'd be great. Okay. Let's see. Who do we got online? Who can we raid? Oh. Let's go raid Dino. Only 3 people in there. This guy does lost wax bronze casting. He's a younger sculptor, but it's cool to see him being involved in such a cool process, and he's always a pleasant fellow every time we go in there. So let's go raid him. I found him randomly just by searching for the sculpting tag. Let's go see what he's up to. Dino. All right. There we go. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.